Oh, oh hi. Welcome to VRML. Back here hour after hour with some power casts. Sort of. Putting as much power into it as I can anyway, and excited to get underway soon between Atlas and Paragon facing off here on the stream here on Channel 1. I think we're still awaiting one player, it looks like, for Atlas, at least hopefully. We do have Paragon with their 3 out of 4 players in here, along with Braymore, the substitute, coming in, it looks like. Saw Braymore just yesterday, or maybe it was 2 days ago. Either way, Braymore coming in to sub. Meanwhile, it looks like maybe possibly Atlas looking to sub as well. Looking for one, that is. Okay, but anyway, sorry about that. Welcome to the stream, though. Hello to Addison Mays in there, as well as JoJo. Welcome to the stream, or welcome back. Good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. So it's been a little while since I've gotten to stream these teams. Well, that is to say, for Atlas, I actually just streamed them yesterday. But for the side here of Paragon, I have not been able to stream them this season. Now, they have been streamed by other casters there. Dimwee, Dash, Swift, and Sputnik. But this would be my first Paragon cast of Season 2. So excited to see what they provide here. And but yeah, for side of Atlas will be the back-to-back streams for them across the last couple days. Of course, just dropping one player here again, so that's never a good sign. Hopefully we see them come into the game soon, though. See Multi also in the chat there. Yeah, so this will be, what, a third match here in the European region so far today. Happy to say. We've got one more coming up still, and about another hour, the top of the hour, so 52 minutes from now, we'll have Scuffed versus Nantes Esport coming up. We just got done about half an hour ago with Vertigo against Smash Dash. Fun match, Smash Dash taking that one. And just as well, had Ares and an Arctis earlier on. The first stream of the day. But yeah, still waiting on the players to join. I'm not sure if it's a 3v4 or what the deal is exactly. But I guess I'll use that note to give a friendly reminder to the teams to try and communicate on the Discord League Organization channel when possible. Have pinged them a few times. Haven't gotten too much in the way of communication, so not a huge deal. But just on that note, keeping the casting team in the loop if you're being streamed. Therefore, you know what's going on exactly, so I don't have to sit here like a bumbling door talking about the maybes. I want to give definitiveness here on the stream. Decisiveness. But that said, we'll just hang along here and see what happens. Taking a look at these two teams, though, for the side of Paragon, sitting in a bronze division right now, rounded MMR of 1140. And a record of 8-5. So sitting there with a few more wins than losses, having themselves a nice season so far. Plus 17 on that plus and minus differential in terms of how much more their scores have been compared to the teams that they've faced. So, 3 more wins on the record, but with that, plus and minus being just 17. Obviously these tightly contested games, slim margins, and that's what you like to see. Now, of course, if you're the teams playing, you want to blow out every team if you can, go 20-0, but usually not going to be the case more often than not. So it's good to see from the league standpoint, from the stream standpoint, and competitive standpoint, you have these close matches in all through these ranks. Where the score isn't dramatically different round to round and things like that. Yesterday's matches we were talking about, super hyped. A lot of exciting finishes, multiple games, multiple rounds, all going down to the final minute. We had some OTs in there also thrown in. Now we do see Sugar Fluff also in there in the chat, stopping by. And Twang Pants, who we just saw over half an hour ago on the stream there for Vertigo. But yeah, so Braymore is a substitute. That is correct. So on that note, depending on what exactly Atlas is doing here, like if they do need a substitute, that might just be a 3v3 potentially. Not sure. Like I said, haven't really heard too much from the teams in the org channel as of yet, unless they've already communicated with another moderator. But at first glance, I'm not seeing anything in the org channel on that. So I will continue to sit here, just assuming, I guess. So yeah, JoJo in there saying of play, but Frosty asked a sub to go on. Which is, I guess, goes back to the case of why rules get made. Because they get bent sometimes, don't they? Nonetheless, still waiting on another player. I'm going to ping the teams one more time, and I'm going to hope for the best. So give me just a second. I'm going to mute myself. Alright, sorry about that, but I am horrible at trying to talk to Twitch and also type at the same time. Working on it, but as of now, that multitask ability just not in the wheelhouse, unfortunately. So I'm trying to communicate with teams there. I have been told that for the side of Atlas, they do need a 4, so in that case, should be played 3v3, I do believe, if both teams need a sub. Keeping in mind, of course, you do need 3 players, 3 rostered members of a team playing at any given time, so it can't be 2 rostered players and then 1 sub in a 3v3. It would have to be 3 rostered players. But I have expressed as much there to the team, so both of them are needing subs. And one can't find one, which looks like maybe the case for Atlas. Then, yeah, they should be playing a 3v3 here. But we'll give it a little bit of time. Little bit of time, but not too much, because we're about 1 minute until that 15-minute mark, and you know, if we don't get started too soon, may have to skip out on the stream just for time considerations and whatnot. That said, someone readied up, but this should not happen. But again, team's not paying attention too much to the Discord, it seems like, which is unfortunate. Well, actually, now we just got a join from Nadicio, so maybe we have a match after all. Checking this out now, if they're a rostered member, perhaps. I hope so. Looks like that's the case. All right, so take it back right at the literal last minute before that 15-minute mark where the start would have to have happened. I guess we got ourselves a 4v4. How about that? So Frosty, T-Wolfo, Clives, and Braymore here on Paragon. And that disc is gone as it goes into the goal for the first shot from Braymore. Nailing that one in, and that will be 2 points their way. Checking on Atlas' side, they got Yeet Yoot Toot, X Gaming, Spicy, and Nadicio. Which is to say, they do have, so they do have three rostered members on their team, and a 3-point shot from this one. And 5 points now going the way of Bray, which is to say Paragon on blue. All right, yeah, just clarifying, chat, because I saw someone there saying there's two rostered, but both teams do have the 3 rostered members now. So Braymore taking this disc now, gonna hit the shot. 8 points already. Not the start that they wanted here for Atlas, but for Paragon, they're riding on the backs of Braymore at the moment. Just doing what he does. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it. But nonetheless, continuing on, it's going to be a launch out here for the side of Orange. Again, Atlas saw them yesterday as well, but having it stolen again. And it's going to be another quick goal for Clives. And my goodness, they are coming alive here for Paragon. Braymore or not, that one is just another fast shot based off the fast joust. And pointing out, yeah, sub restrictions. So it does need adjustments, definitely, and you know, the more cases like these in particular, the more encouraged, I suppose, will be to change it. The problem is, and especially in last season, we barely had any European subs the thing. I think it changed here this season, but that's why it's a tough balance, I suppose, because we want to be conducive to, you know, allowing subs a chance to sub, right, and allowing teams a chance to get subs, because we understand on some weeks you just might not have your 4th player available. But also trying to maintain a balance of allowing subs while not having it be too unbalanced. But if it's too restrictive, and then there's not enough subs to accommodate, that's where it becomes a problem. It was definitely a problem last season. Now that shot being missed there, unfortunate on the lost hands from Wolfo. But just to give a little insight, because I don't disagree that there needs to be adjustment, but just for a little bit of context, it was a big problem in Season 1. There just were not a lot of subs. So the margins had to be a certain degree of loose, but indeed. So 12 points on the board here, and it will be taken now by Spicy, or sent out by Spicy rather, past now the waiting hands of Frosty, and right into the save from Wolfo. That's a nice grab there in the goal. Deep shot granted, but a good intercept here in midline by Spy. Now Spy walking it up the trench, up the floor. And now trying to approach the goal here. And it'll be X Gaming with that disc, looking for the shot and hitting it. Now see, because the other thing too in this league, unless, for instance, substitute situations also, just to give a little of my viewpoint too. For substitutes at the master tier and at the higher tiers, even if you get a really great sub, it's almost to the disadvantage of a top team, right? And at that level. Now you're going to all the rest of the teams here who, you know, aren't necessarily playing for prizes beyond the, you know, the badges and things like that, right? So unless you're at the top tier, everyone else in the league ultimately playing for fun and also for the measuring stick, right? When you're going against different teams in your caliber and in your division, again, if you're not competing for the prizes, you're just competing for the sake of competing. So, you know, also advisable when you're bringing in substitutes, because if you're kind of artificially trying to, you know, bump up your stats, especially if you had 4 rostered players available on your team, the purpose of that doesn't really serve too much, because you're artificially inflating your MMR, then your next matches will be even tougher, and unless you're relying on subs every single week of the season, which in itself would be a problem, you know, it just screws up everyone's game in that run, and then no one has fun, because in the next weeks it's unbalanced match for the team who were boosted. It's a, you know, easier match for the team that were boosted on, if you catch my drift. So that's my view on it. I do recognize the fact that it's probably the sub MMRs need some adjustments, absolutely, but you know, I'm just asking, the purpose is all of purposely going for the sub situation, unless you are competing at the master tier, which again wouldn't be productive anyway. But I'm going to get off my step stool now, my pedestal here, and Frosty with a disc and sending it to the midline. MMR, Old Dog has a mixed match rating, or matchmaking rating, which is to say each team has MMRs, each sub has MMRs. That just means when you win a game, when you lose a game, your MMR total, your value, goes up or down based on who you faced and things like that. And when you get matched each week, you basically get matched against teams with similar ratings. So that's how it goes. Now anyway, over here it's going to be Braymore with a stun on Spicy, and it will be a clear off that side wall. Probably a shot attempt at that. We actually just saw that in the game earlier there, Vertigo and Smash Dash. Going for now a very smashing goal. It was Wolfo dunking it home, 16 points now. any case, launch 4 minutes left. Advantage here going to the side of Orange on Atlas. And now Spicy with a clear up high. Going to bounce a few different times, but find the way perhaps of Navicio, but being stunned instead, so Spicy taking that away and slinging it into the back lane, and will be taken back by Yeet, who does try and yeet it through the tunnel. X Gaming getting X'd out by that stun, and back here to Clive. So Clive's losing that disc out now, big pile forming, and sending it through into the blue zone. Pretty close to a shot, actually, and they might still get it yet. There's the attempt from Spicy, a rebound here, high from X, but no, unable to convert. And they'll still get another rebound, it looks like, but not a ton of time before that defense is right on their tails, and there it is. So on the bottom of the floor by Navicio, looking for a bounce to a teammate here. X Gaming's having it stolen by Braymore, and Braymore going for that clear up high. Now X Gaming will pass it off to Spicy, and then Spy to the side. And then up high taken by X Gaming. Also to JoJo in the chat there. That I would recommend DMing a mod about right now even. But I can't do anything at the moment being on the casting seat of things. But definitely an issue to raise to our Great League moderators there. Now anyway, to the bottom of the floor, it's going to be taken by Braymore. And then Braymore the shot, but it's going to be saved out nicely from Yeats on the backboard. So hitting that side panel and then back up again to Spy's hand. And then through on the tunnel. So on that, shot attempt, never mind. Spicy very nicely. There we go. So we saw those attempts earlier on. Anytime it goes off that wall, you give it a good chance to go in. And that it did. It almost happened earlier for Braymore, I think it was. Happened right there for Spicy. Happened earlier in that last match on stream. So there you go again. Nicely done, though. Brings it back within 10. And a launch out here, headbutting it and losing it, unfortunately. So X Gaming is going to try and collapse on the offensive player. Will do so. And now Braymore, though, pulling away with a disc and going for the bottom ramp. Eyeing the goal, perhaps, or a teammate, either way. Outside of the goal, it's Yeats with a disc and sending it to Navicio. Nice passes to X now. That was 3 really tightly strung passes. Not easy on the catch. And that disc nearly going in, but still going to be taken back by Bray. I mean, DM one of our league moderators in the main Discord. So up top to the hands of Braymore. Braymore taking that and slinging it and finding it. Big shot for Braymore, 19-6. You also see Sloth in the chat. Welcome to it, Kona Gamer 2. I'm gonna get one of your games eventually. Don't you worry. I am forcing myself to wake up, get some of these matches in the morning times. Maybe sleep to that, or step over to that strange schedule where you forgot what it's called. Bifastic or something. I don't know. I probably butchered that, but you know, the sleep schedule where you just do 4 hours at a time. That way, I'll stream all of OCE, EU, and NA. Why not? Sounds like a challenge. Over here, Frosty though challenging that disc to get it back, or the offensive player to get it back here for them. So now they're going to be on offense. Braymore here having it actually stolen out. So nice stun there coming in. Spicy tapping it out. X Gaming now and Spicy on the barrier and diving out to contest Braymore. See to what degree of success. Not too much, as it does result in a punch and a bounce shot. That's going to be cleared out and sent out to Navicio and over to the midline as it's slung through. Now some good stacks coming through with some speed. There's Spicy trying to get that one. Maybe one last fling, but unable to get that one into the goal. I take it back. I take it back. That's a shot. There was a goalkeeper in the area, but I think they weren't expecting it either. You know what? Self-goal to end it, whatever. It's going to be taken in 19-9. So, wouldn't be the first self-goal. In fact, that's probably the 4th one I think we've seen since yesterday. Like I said yesterday, it's going to happen. But nonetheless, will be the first round taken away, 19-9, as we await the arrival of round 2. And I'll hand it off, or send it off to the score screen in a second, while I need to go find some water so I don't sound like a complete frog. One moment. All right, and I'm back. So, to the score screen, it was Braymore, 15 points. Not too much of a surprise, I do suppose. 2 saves, 14 stuns. 1 assist there for Frosty. Clives with 2 points. T. Wolfo with 2 points. Off to the second round here was Spicy also with 3. X Gaming with 3. Couple saves for X Gaming. Yeet with 3 as well. And round 2 about to be underway. Addison asking why I stopped playing. Because I started casting, pretty much. I was going to play with 11.5, which was a team going into a perspective next season of VRL, but that was with Dash and Wit, who might know from Illuminati and Team Joker. Was going to play with them, but yep. Then VRML came along, casting opportunities open up, and league organization, things like that, and I favored that. I did some casting with Pizza League and whatnot, but I played a lot, had some success, had a lot of fun. Also had some tough times and not so much fun at times. I miss competition, but it is stressful. At the same time, I'll probably get back into it one day. But right now, getting back into the goal, it's Braymore on the play. But yeah, I'll probably get back into comp one day, don't get me wrong. The stresses are also worth the highs you get from it. Nothing feels better, right, than playing a tough contested game and winning out and doing it with a bunch of players that you like being with. But at the same time, I figured for the moment, the efforts are much better spent, trying to help build the league side of things, help out 170 teams instead of just one team that I'm on, right? That's the way I see it. And besides that, it's fun. It's fun watching these teams develop and get better and better, and all the increased participation, especially, being around here for the last 3 years now. The fact that it's grown practically exponentially the last few months has been quite amazing to watch. Is that shot almost amazing to watch? We've seen a few of those bounce attempts, and that one was pretty good, at least on the attempt, but not getting the results. It's going to be caught here by Braymore, swinging around, and going to hold it off here, waiting for the defense to act and just try to react to that. So there's Frosty with the disc, going to send it over, but a bit tough on the catch. It'll be slung off the wall, and then rebounded here by Clives. So Clives going to the bottom, taken by Braymore, being contested by a couple players, but finding the soft pass to the barrier, and can't bury that shot as it goes back up high. Spy. Orange players, I spy. But over here to, the dubstep bounce, as it takes a few off beats, and right now, right on beat, maybe, no, the ding instead. So the rim shot, that's a joke, but over here to the hands of Clives. Clives looking for a pass up high, breaking and taking and not making, though, because Yeats gets the goal recovered. The save, very nice on the defensive end. Back to the trench now. It's going to be taken here by a big pile, just slapping it out. And maybe a good chance here for Atlas. Let's see. The recovery there needs to get it through, and with some speed. 17-meter underhanded fling. That's X Gaming. Very nice on the stacks and the recoveries. All right, so on the offensive joust here will be Paragon lining it up, and it looks like just a slap clear, a headbutt clear, and right into Braymore's hands. So very effective there. You see these clever rollouts from a lot of these teams, especially in this region. But, even in the Americas, I'm seeing a lot of unique rollouts now adopting. But I do think a lot of them kind of started here with some of these unique ones. Now going off to the top will be taken by X Gaming. X Gaming going for the tunnel clear, and does get that one right through to the blue area. Now, redirecting off of that boost, Frosty is going to be there first, and contested there, just enough to make him clear it out into the wall, and just recognizing he had Braymore somewhere along the way, as he does make the play for the 3. And it's 5 points here, going the way of Paragon. Also, just to address the chat real quick, I can also pass it along to the mods, just more so. Once we're in the casting area, I'm a caster. I'm also not technically a league mod, a governing mod, which is a little bit different. But nonetheless, over to the side, it's going to be taken at the bottom of the floor by Spy, but having it stolen by Braymore. Braymore is going to maneuver all around and look for the 2-point goal. Gets it right there, 7-2. But yes, you message any of our mods. Doesn't have to be a European league moderator. It could be any of them. We got Wit. We got Wit, Nada, Sneaky Evil, Princess, Gilligan. Alikos, Echo Zero, Dano McFabulous. And yes, so you can message any of them or just the same. If you don't, or if you haven't already, I can do so after the game and kind of pass it along. But and in any case, it's going to be X Gaming here with a deep throw to Wolfo. Now Wolfo taking that disc and sending it bottom ways and over to the sidewall now. Up by 5 points for the side of Paragon, but Braymore is there with the stun and gets it on the clear. Now it's going to bounce off the wedge, but there's some players overshooting actually all their hands, so it's going to get back momentarily to Atlas. And they're going to clear it down towards that trench as they collect the stacks and try and get back there. 4 players now, all getting some leeches and boost off of Braymore. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the floor, edge of the tunnel, a lot of defense, or brawling being played rather, from both these teams. So it's been stuck in this midline for the last minute or so, it feels like. And taking that disc and actually an open lane briefly is just going to go off the wall and off the backboard. Taken back by Clives now on the rebound from the side. Now over to Clive's hands and right through the tunnel. It's going to be bounced off the wall here and taken off the corner by Clives. So Clives from the back line, losing the disc, losing the handles, Spy with a clear right through the tunnel. Now back to X Gaming. 4 minutes left, still just a 5-point game. And on the passing play, oh, a save, but still shot in. So Clives actually getting the almost save, but nonetheless, a play was made, and Atlas getting back here on the score sheet. Off that dish to the backboard. And again, for those just curious, we got about half an hour from now, one more European matchup. That's going to be, hold on, Wolfo maybe grabbing the disc, maybe not. Will be taken instead and slapped out to the other side. So Yeats gets that disc back. We'll have some time just to work it up the floor. And then back to the mid zone it goes. So X Gaming slapping it through here now, and back to the midfield it will be by that tunnel. Contesting is Braymore, stunning out Nadi, and right to the shot attempt perhaps, as it will just bounce right back to a rebounded hand of Gaming. Now Gaming losing it here to the short-range stack. They're going to go for that attack on the goal, but just right off the barrier instead. Frosty there with a pass over to Braymore. You see Clives with the midline positioning. And now immediately prioritizing the boost, which is what you got to do. I like to see that from teams, always focusing on the grabs, you know, when there's a clear disc. Now Nadicio getting stunned out here and left behind. Braymore looking for the bottom lane clear. That's going to bounce up high and then right back down again to the waiting arms of Yeet. And a Yeet down the tunnel. And just some more kind of back and forth play. It's still a close game, 2.5 minutes left. 1-3 will put them right back into a tie and maybe eyeing that OT situation. But it's definitely not staying on the blue side for all too long every time it does get cleared down here. So another clear maybe about to unfold, but once more it's just going to be on the blue side, recovered by a Paragon player. Clives this time, and then just another pass or throw rather into the other end. And 3 different players arriving there for Paragon, and another slap again. So just a lot of hot potato play. Not too much more to say other than that. These teams not really able to wrangle it too much. And finally, Clives, though, will find an open goal, and that's now a 5-point advantage going the way of Clives. But yes, after this match, about 25 minutes from now, we'll have Scuffed versus Nant Esports on this channel. So we'll look forward to that as well. And after that, I'm going to check out what we've got for the afternoon Americas games. Try and take some of them there as Braymore does take some more points. 3 more for Braymore. It's 12-4. Now, as far as how much I can cast the rest of the day, probably not too much, but I can do a lot of camera work. Definitely got to cast sporadically, probably for the next several days. But that said, off to the top of the bubble, taken by Wolfo. Wolfo having it stolen by Nadicio to the backboard and almost in on the shot. A little too soft, but it was accurate, so good touch there. Now in the midline with the touch and the stun, and now the leech is Braymore doing a little bit of everything as swooping in will be Spicy. Now Spicy losing it out here to Frosty, but Frosty can't get the goal to go. A slap in off the bottom now. And now taken back by Clives. Now taken again by Yeet, and Yeet right down the left lane. Now we'll be taken over here at the top, perhaps. But a lot of players kind of getting lost off to some of the Geo, so a little bit delayed, but Braymore finding it eventually and then losing it actually off the Geo. Maybe lost his hands there for a moment. As Clives takes this back, taps off, spins around, and that will indeed conclude the second round and the match. Favoring here Paragon. And 12-4. Props to Atlas for trying. Very, very hard to deal with. Obviously a very, very good sub. Won't sugarcoat it. Kind of tough. I know chat pointed out much of the same, but as always, you know, the reason why we can't have nice things and the reason why rules get made is because rules get bent. That being said, we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. We'll figure things out. Just to also address, see, the only map applying to be a caster. Okay, so with the casting apps, looking through some of them, the thing is we did get a decent amount of apps, but priority did definitely go to players, you know, with more either experience, or if you're newer to Echo, we're glad to take you. But a lot of the apps did have basically no demos or VODs or anything to go off of, and you know, even though it's not required necessarily, it's highly encouraged, especially if we don't have anything to go on, and we don't have anything to go on. So, you know, some players apply, and we already kind of know them, and we've heard them, you know, cast before, or we've, you know, we know they know the game, things like that. A lot easier to get the casters on board. If we're having people apply who are brand new to the game over the last couple months, and they don't have any VODs to show for it, it's kind of a luck of the draw and kind of random, right? We don't have much to go. So glad to take on board casters regardless of experience level, but highly recommended that if you don't kind of have already established history with Echo, to you know, cast some pubs or even just mute a VRML VOD and cast over that, and then provide that in your applications, and it'll make it much more easy for the application process to, you know, to be made with confidence. So that's all it amounts to, really. Not a requirement, but for especially newer to Echo players, it's at least recommended so we can get an idea. That's basically the big difference maker, honestly. But yes, apps are still open. They will be brought in on waves. Essentially, we had up to 8 new casters for this wave. Out of them, we got 5, kind of getting back to me. So we've already seen them cast this week, too. We had Pam Wow on OCE region, have our first OCE caster, and he's very, very good, in fact. Got a great voice for the mic and for the cast. And Adam R. Fly also casted a game this week, and I think we'll cast some more later today, perhaps. So, good to see. But in any case, yep, that's going to do it for this round. We've got about 20 minutes until the next stream. So, I'm going to conclude this one, and we'll be back pretty soon with Nant Esport facing off against Scuffed, and that should be a very fun game. Will be my first look at Scuffed, and actually the first look at Scuffed as a team on the stream. That is to say, though, I do see some recognizable faces on there, very much so, with Akinut, Alidark, Frogio, and Mosh, so that's going to be a fun one to watch. So do stay tuned. Until then, though, 20 minutes from now, I've been Palidore. That's been VRML Week 6, and yeah, take care and be back in a few.